Welcome to our deep dive, and this time we're looking into Colleen Hoover's Verity.
Oh, Verity.
Yeah, you guys gave us some excerpts from this thriller, and wow, this one looks like it's going to be a wild ride.
It really is.
So we're exploring, like, the mind of a best-selling author and all these secrets, hidden beneath what seems like a perfect life.
Right, right.
Yeah, so get ready, because we're going to uncover the truth behind these characters and all the dark twists and turns of Hoover's, like, really gripping story.
Yeah, Hoover's really good at setting up this atmosphere of suspense right from the get-go.
Right.
You get introduced to Lowen.
Yeah.
She's a struggling writer. And then there's Jeremy, who's a grieving husband.
Oh, yeah.
And Verity, his wife, is this famous author who's had, like, this tragic accident.
Yeah.
But you kind of get the sense from the beginning that there's more going on here, more than meets the eye.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just that opening scene, right?
Oh, yeah.
Where Lowen sees this, like, gruesome accident, like a man's head run over.
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
Talk about a shocking, like, meet cute.
Yeah, it is.
And Jeremy, he reacts to this with this, like, unsettling calmness. Like, almost like, oh, yeah, I've seen worse. And
Yeah.
it just immediately makes you think, what has this guy been through?
Exactly.
That would make something like that seem so, like, normal.
Right.
It's crazy.
It really sets the tone for the rest of the story. It's just this glimpse into the darkness that lies, underneath what seems like this perfect life.
Right.
And then you have Lowen, who gets offered this incredible opportunity, like a dream job,
Right.
to ghostwrite the remaining books in Verity's, wildly popular series.
Mm-hmm.
But as she starts, like, digging into Verity's life and her work, it just gets so complicated.
Oh yeah, complicated is putting it lightly. It's
Yeah.
like opening Pandora's box when Lowen finds this, like, Verity's unfinished autobiography.
Yeah.
And you start reading this manuscript and it's like, bam, all these shocking confessions.
Oh, yeah.
And it, like, completely contradicts, like, her public image. You question everything you thought you knew about her.
And you're just confronted with this, like, complete difference between, like, who everyone thinks she is,
Yeah.
the loving wife and the devoted mother, to this manipulative kind of selfish character that's, like, coming through in her writing.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, she admits to faking pregnancies.
Right.
Now, if you think about that for a minute, is that, like, a sign of her manipulative nature? Or is Hoover trying to say something more about, like, the pressures that women face to be mothers?
That's a good point. It's chilling for sure, and it makes you question her motives for, like, everything.
Yeah.
And it goes deeper than that.
Yeah.
Like, she writes about being, like, repulsed by how her body changes during pregnancy.
Yeah.
And even, like, she's smiling for the cameras, but secretly she's harboring all these dark feelings.
Yeah.
It's scary.
It is.
And then she admits to, like, resenting her children, like Harper especially. Yeah.
It's just a brutal confession that makes you think about, like, these darker sides of motherhood that nobody really talks about.
Absolutely. And then the way she describes her relationship with Jeremy, it's almost like clinical. Like, she's talking about using sex as, like, a way to get what she wants from him.
Yeah.
It paints a very different picture than what we're seeing, on the surface.
Totally. It's so different from how Jeremy presents himself, this, like, grieving, devoted husband.
Right, exactly.
And speaking of their relationship, things start to get kind of weird between Lowen and Jeremy.
Yeah.
Like, you can see how Lowen's drawn to him.
Right.
But you've read all these, like, really intimate and disturbing things about their marriage in Verity's writing.
Yes.
So it puts you right in the middle of this, like, unsettling love triangle.
It does. It really does. And then just when you think you're starting to, like, get their dynamic, Hoover throws in these, like, creepy incidents that Lowen experiences in the house.
It's like she's always being watched.
Yeah.
And you're left wondering, is she going crazy?
Yeah.
Or is there something else going on, something more sinister?
Like that scene where she sees Verity at the top of the stairs,
Yeah.
even though Verity's supposed to be, like, paralyzed. I
Yeah.
know. It's so creepy.
It's terrifying.
And then the TV turning off when no one's around, and Crew playing with a knife in Verity's room.
Right.
It makes you question everything.
Yeah, it makes you wonder about Verity's condition, too.
Oh, yeah.
Is she really as, incapacitated as everyone thinks she is?
Right.
Or is she, like, orchestrating everything from the shadows?
Yeah.
You're getting Verity's story through, what she wrote, but then you're also seeing Lowen's perspective.
Right.
And what Jeremy's saying.
Mhm.
And they often don't agree.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
And that brings us to Verity's twin daughters, Chasten, and Harper.
Oh, gosh.
In her manuscript, she paints this, like, really disturbing picture of how she felt about them.
Yeah.
Like, she says she neglected them on purpose and was even relieved when Chasten died.
It's awful. It makes you rethink everything you thought you knew about her as a mom.
I know.
But then Jeremy tells Lowen his side of the story.
Right.
And it's totally different from what Verity wrote. He thinks that Chasten's death was an accident.
Yeah.
And that Verity was heartbroken by it.
Right.
So who are you going to believe?
Yeah, who do you believe?
Is Jeremy just in denial about what his wife was really like?
Yeah.
Or is Verity's manuscript just a messed up, unreliable account?
Yeah, it's a question that just keeps popping up. And then, when you think things can't get any weirder, Lowen finds a hidden letter from Verity to Jeremy.
Oh, wow.
And this is where things really take a shocking turn.
I bet.
That letter, it's like Verity planned for it to be found, but what she says in it, it's a complete bombshell.
Oh, I can't wait to hear about this. So before we get into that, let's maybe pick this up in the next part of our deep dive.
Yeah, good idea. So that letter, hidden away like that,
Right.
it really changes everything. It's like she wanted it to be found.
Right.
But what's even more crazy is what she says in it.
Yeah. What is it?
It's like the opposite of everything in her manuscript. She comes clean about Harper's death.
Oh, God.
And she admits she made it look like Jeremy did it.
Oh, wow.
And then she says she faked her injuries to keep herself and crew safe from Jeremy.
That's a big twist.
I know. And then, get this, she says the manuscript was all a lie.
Wait, what?
The whole thing was made up.
Seriously?
She claims it was just a writing exercise?
Like to practice writing a dark character.
Exactly.
Wow, that is a mind-blowing revelation.
I know, right? You don't know what to believe anymore.
So is she just playing everyone?
Yeah, was she like this master manipulator?
Using everyone for her own twisted game?
It's like the rug's been pulled out from under you. And then there's Jeremy.
Yeah.
He finds the letter and confronts Verity.
Oh.
And it doesn't end well for her.
So did he kill her?
Well, we don't know for sure.
It just says she dies.
Yeah, it's really ambiguous.
So was it mercy killing?
Or was he just so angry?
Right.
Hoover doesn't give us a straight answer.
It's just another layer of complexity.
Right. And then there's Lowen.
Yeah.
She chooses to destroy the letter.
Wow.
It's a big moment for her.
It really shows her character.
I know. It's like she's facing this impossible decision.
Right. Does she tell the truth?
Yeah. But then Jeremy's life would be ruined.
And Crew's future would be in jeopardy.
Exactly. Or does she protect them?
Even though it means hiding Verity's confession?
It's like a huge ethical dilemma.
For sure.
And it's made even harder because she's starting to have feelings for Jeremy.
Oh, yeah. You can see her struggling.
With everything she knows about their past.
Right. And it makes you wonder about her motives, too.
Is she just trying to do what's best for Jeremy and Crew? Yeah. Or is she also trying to protect him because she cares about him?
That's a good point.
It's something you think about as you're reading. And then there are the acknowledgments at the end of the book.
Oh, yeah.
Verity thanks all these people.
Like who?
Her mother, her editor.
So was any of it real then?
Yeah. Was she capable of caring about people?
After all that darkness.
It makes you go back and question everything.
It's like Hoover wants you to reread the whole story.
With this new information.
And doubt everything.
It's so unsettling.
But also makes you think.
And it really shows the power of stories.
Yeah, how we can be tricked by what people tell us.
Even when there's evidence that contradicts it.
Right, this is where the thriller part really shines.
Totally.
Hoover keeps you guessing the whole time.
About what's real and what's not.
And even Lowen has her doubts.
Like when she starts sleepwalking.
Yeah, and having those hallucinations.
Right.
You have to wonder, can we trust her as the narrator?
Exactly. It's all about truth and fiction and reality.
You're left feeling uneasy.
Unsure of anything.
And there's that weird connection between Verity's accident.
And what she wrote about in her manuscript.
Like life imitating art.
Or art imitating life.
It's creepy.
It makes you think about where writers get their ideas.
And how creativity can go to dark places.
Verity is such a complex story.
About secrets.
And complicated relationships.
And the choices we make. When things are tough?
It stays with you.
What stood out to you about Verity's story?
Yeah. Was she manipulating everyone?
Or was she a victim of her own mind?
And was Jeremy a good guy?
Or something else entirely?
You know, it's interesting how Lowen's like a ghostwriter.
Yes.
And it's almost like she's the reader.
I see what you mean.
Like we're both trying to figure out Verity.
Yeah, going through all those layers?
Of lies and different stories.
Exactly. You're trying to figure out what's real.
Right.
Just like Lowen. And it makes you wonder, like, Am I judging this right?
Yeah, can you trust anyone?
Right. Is anyone telling the truth?
And then there's Jeremy.
Oh, yeah, Jeremy.
He goes from this grieving husband to,
Well,
we don't know what happened for sure.
to a man capable of a lot.
Yeah, he's a complicated character.
Definitely. Think
Yeah.
about it. He lived with this woman
Yeah.
who, according to her,
Yeah.
did some terrible things.
Yeah.
And then he finds that letter,
Right.
and it's like even more betrayal.
It makes you wonder what he was thinking.
when he confronted her
Right.
again.
It really makes you think about, like, the dark side of people,
Yeah.
how far they'll go for love,
Or to survive.
or just for themselves.
Right. It makes you wonder about the truth
Yeah, like, can there be different truth?
in a story like this.
Or is it all just how you see it?
Yeah.
That's what I think makes Verity so interesting. It doesn't give you the answers. You have
Okay.
to decide for yourself.
Based on what you read.
And Hoover uses this unreliable narrator thing to make
Uh-huh.
it even more unclear.
You never know who to believe.
Yeah, even Lowen, she seems trustworthy.
Right.
But even she doubts herself.
Sometimes.
It shows that anyone can be tricked.
And that we all make mistakes. Even about the people we're closest to.
It's like a warning.
To think for yourself.
And question everything.
Right. Even what you see and hear.
So we've spent all this time in Verity's world. Let's go back to those questions from the beginning.
Okay.
Was she just really good at manipulating people?
Yes.
Or was she, like, messed up in her own head?
Right. And was Jeremy a hero?
Yeah, was he a good guy?
Or something else?
I don't think there are easy answers.
Me neither.
And that's what makes this book so good.
Hoover lets you decide.
Right. And that's why it makes you think so much.
It stays with you even after you're done reading.
It makes you think about the bad parts of human nature
Yeah.
and how good people are at lying.
What do you think?
Do you think Lowen did the right thing?
Yeah. By destroying the letter.
And will she ever forget all of this?
And what about Jeremy and crew?
What's going to happen to them?
We've only touched on this crazy story.
Yeah, we've only scratched the surface.
There's so much more to explore.
Go back and reread those excerpts.
Yeah. Yeah. Look at it from different sides.
And decide for yourself.
Because in Verity's world, there's no easy truth.
And the answers aren't always clear.
That's what makes it so captivating.
So thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
It's been fun.
And we'll see you next time.
Yeah. See you later. Okay.